Aloha, everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live. I think I'm on. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. Welcome to Facebook Live with Mel Rapozo. Today is Wednesday, March 25th, and it is a wonderful Wednesday evening. Thank you all for adjusting your schedules tonight. Um, got a special treat for you guys tonight at 7 o'clock. Acoustic Mana, a local band, is going to be doing a free concert for all of us at 7 o'clock. That's Daryl Rapozo. That is Shiloh Pa, Ryan McCaig, and Jonah Cummings. So they're going to be on right after this. I'm not getting any comments, so I cannot see any comments coming on. So I'm not sure if anybody's even on. Facebook just changed oh, there's Patsy. Facebook just changed the format of this thing, so it's all new. So I'm not sure. Hope you guys can hear me and see me. Okay, there we go. All right, I see Hope. Okay, perfect. Thank you, thank you. I guess if normally when you guys come on, it tells me, but it's not doing that right now. So, oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm gonna go through anyway. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna get out of here before 7 because at 7 o'clock, like I said, I'm gonna be sharing, um, doing a watch party with Acoustic Mana. They're going to be doing a free concert again. Some local brothers making some local music. I don't know if some of you were just watching Capena. Capena just had did a concert, and okay, I'm not getting any comments. But anyway, that's fine. Patsy's getting all the comments. I only see if you post a comment, I see it. But if not, then I don't see it. So I'm not sure. Let's see what this is here. Uh, anyway, we're gonna go get 24 of us counting. Okay, I'm gonna move forward. I see if you folks make a comment, I can see it. I just don't see it if when you come on like I usually do. But anyway, I see Hope, I see Roland and Kenny and Lisa and Ashley and Mona and Hope and Sean and so anyway, thank you guys all. And again, thank you for making an adjustment. Like I said, 7 o'clock. Uh, Acoustic Mana will be doing a free concert. I'll be sharing that. Just some music to break the nonsense that's going on today and all the stress that everybody's going through because of the COVID-19. So something nice. Daryl called me up and he said they had already scheduled the thing for 7 o'clock. So I said, okay, I'll move the Facebook Live and we'll get all of you to watch their concert right after this. So we're gonna get started and gotta hydrate, keep the mouth wet always, okay? Tonight, we're gonna talk about COVID-19. We're gonna talk about COVID-19 because that is the topic of the day. Over 1,000 deaths in the U.S. today. We broke the 1,000 number, the 1,000 barrier. Uh, right now, we're at 1,027. That's a lot of people that we've lost here in the United States, and that's what tonight's going to be about. Is how are we going to prevent that? How are we going to prevent that from happening here in Hawaii? We got 95 cases so far here in Hawaii, 5 on Kauai. Every day we're picking up a case here. 68 on Oahu, 13 on Maui, 5 on the Big Island, and 4 what the state calls pending. I have no idea what pending is. The pending number, they don't give us the where those 4 pending are, so I cannot tell you. But I know we do have 5 for sure, at least 5 here on Kauai, and I expect that number to go up. We know that it's going to get worse before it gets better. We know that. As Lieutenant Governor uh, Josh Green mentioned in his interview yesterday on the news, community spreading is occurring in Hawaii. I know a lot of people, our leadership at the state level is saying, hey, it's when we get to community spreading, then we got to kind of take it up a notch. Well, it's already spreading. We know that we have cases in the state that were contracted here in Hawaii. and not from a traveler, which means that, yeah, it all came here from either a traveler coming to Kauai or to Hawaii, or one of our residents contracting it on the mainland and bringing it back. The bottom line is we're at the community spread level, and it's time to take it up a notch, and that's what we're all waiting for. We must treat this as if we all have the virus. Uh, we talk about social distancing. We talk about the lockdowns and the curfews and the stay-at-home orders, and we'll talk about all of that tonight. But we as individuals, regardless of what the rules are, we as individuals must treat this as if we have the virus and that everyone else has the virus. See, if you went in, if you, we had a lot of talk today about Costco. They had an employee that had just come back from New York, and the employee was allowed to go straight to work without a quarantine. Now, a lot of people, because they knew that there was a potential of a infected person working at Costco, they ain't going to go to Costco. That is the mindset. We got to assume that everyone, including yourself, is carrying the virus, which means you don't go near anybody, which means you wash your hands, don't touch your face, you do all of the things that we're being told to do to not transfer this virus. And that's the mindset we got to have for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe a month, however long it takes. If we want to get on the other side of this curve, then we really need to assume that everybody is infected, including yourself. Like I said, if you're going to be much more careful, if you know that the clerk at the grocery store that you want to go buy your 6-pack beer or your soda or whatever, if you know that person has COVID-19, you ain't going to go to that checkout, right? But we are assuming that everybody's perfect and healthy and clean, and we take chances and we touch stuff and we don't wash our hands. The time has come now, community spread, so we got to take action. And that action is very simple: following the rules. Stay at home. Stay at home. You know, there's a lot of advice all over the place, and we got a resident doctor right here, our Lieutenant Governor Josh Green. I have a lot of confidence in him. I have a lot of faith in him. I've listened to, I think, all of his conferences. He was on a call this afternoon on a telephone conference call with Tulsi Gabbard, Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. I was on that. And, you know, his points are very, very clear. Stay at home. We're at the point, excuse me, I'm still getting over this cold. It's no fever. I'm all good. But we're all vulnerable, and we all just got to stay at home. We got to make that conscious effort. We got to discipline ourselves to make sure that we keep ourselves protected and our loved ones protected. Aloha, everybody. I sorry, this new format, I'm getting a hard time. I see Suzanne and Marlene and Shelly and Bitos and Adam and Mona, Alicia. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on early. But he, you know, we just got to listen to him. And he makes it very clear. He is genuinely concerned for everyone in this state. And what happened to him with the task force, completely unacceptable, in my opinion. We all know, it's no secret, that he was basically stripped of some of his duties. In fact, all of his duties as it relates to the task force. Big mistake, big mistake. You know, I think that, thank you, Alicia. I think that the governor made a huge mistake for whatever reason. And I'm not going to rehash what I talked about last week. By the way, our last week's video, thank you all for sharing. We went over 16,000 views, and it's still going. And we, you know, the message was heard loud and clear. They didn't just hear my message. They saw your comments. They saw your concerns. They saw your frustration. So thank you, thank you, thank you for joining in and engaging in the discussion. But this whole thing with Governor Ige and Lieutenant Governor Josh Green is really is juvenile. It's the governor, for whatever reason, doesn't like what Josh Green is doing. I'm glad that Josh has made it a point to share his concerns with the local media. He's on the morning news. He's doing his conferences. He's doing his phone conference calls. He is getting the word out. He is, yeah, I'm early, Clayton. We have to move early because we have a concert coming up right after right after this. We're gonna go straight into a live free concert by Acoustic Mana, which you guys are going to love. So thank you all for adjusting your schedules to accommodate that. I really need to listen to some music. Again, right before this, we watched Capena's free concert. Tonight we're gonna watch Acoustic Mana. I think more. John Legend did a free concert. A lot of stars that are stuck at home throughout the country are putting out these free concerts. So I thank them. Um, and hopefully, more and more will follow. Although, why can't we send out a safety alert like how we get for tornadoes, earthquake, hurricane warnings? I'm not sure for what. I think everybody is well aware now of the threat. And thank you, Amy. And now it's up to us. Yeah, at this point we cannot rely on government, and we'll get into a little bit. But with Lieutenant Josh Green, he has put the people of Hawaii first. People before politics, people before profit, people before the visitor industry. And he's very frustrated that we waited. And I agree with him. I think the fact that we till right at this moment, we don't have a mandatory quarantine for people coming off the plane. It starts tonight at 12:01 midnight. At 12:01 midnight tonight, anybody that lands at the Lihue Airport or any airport in the state that arrives will be forced to go into a 14-day mandatory quarantine. But I think that's kind of late. But nonetheless, at least that's going to take place tomorrow. But we cannot be playing this political game with the governor and lieutenant governor. So, okay, the governor exercises authority, stripped Josh Green of his, and the governor says he didn't, but he did, and Josh is basically continuing his efforts as the medical liaison for Hawaii. Doesn't have to be with that task force. He can do it on his own, and I'm glad that he's doing it. The governor cannot silence Josh Green because he has too much love for the people of Hawaii. So Representative Cynthia Thielen, who is not seeking re-election, this is her last term in the House of Representatives, she's introducing a resolution trying to get the lieutenant governor appointed as the state's emergency director. So whether or not that passes, whether or not that's even legal, if it's even legal, because of the separation of powers, she believes that the legislature can hire and appoint a state emergency director, and that's what she's trying to do. I hope it goes through. That is what we need. Josh is a doctor. He's a medical doctor, and General Hara, who's in charge, he's the incident commander for the task force. He's a soldier. He's a military man, which I respect tremendously. But we're dealing with a medical situation. We're not dealing with a wartime situation. We're not dealing with an attack. And as Ken Lawson said yesterday, I thought it was quite funny when he said, if we were being attacked, the last person I'd be wanting to talk to is Josh Green. But being in the medical crisis that we're in, the medical emergency that we're in right now, that's what I want to talk to. I don't want to talk to a military general about a medical crisis. I agree with Mr. Lawson, because Josh's knowledge and his experience in this field is what we need. And that is still playing out, and we will see. But Josh I believe, is not going to stop his crusade to inform, but his message is very clear. Stay home. Whether you're essential or not, stay home. Stay home. All of the state's rules and the county's rules have loopholes. Don't use them. I think everybody understands the necessity to stay home. Stay away from people. Stay away from facilities. If you don't have to go, don't go. Don't go to the store because you want to go to the store. Go to the store because you need to buy food. You need to buy supplies. I'm checking up some of the comments here. Sorry. Can you explain to some of the people that this isn't a mild virus? Absolutely. I mean, this virus here is very contagious, highly contagious. And I think we all know that. If you bring that virus home, more than likely your entire family is going to get it. And that's why the social distancing, and that's why the washing of the hands and all of that, although it sounds kind of manini, is not. It's critical to prevent the spread. You get this thing, you go in your room and you isolate yourself from everybody else. That's just how it has to be. And yeah, very, very, very contagious. Um, and then, we got issues with testing. I was on the Tulsi call this afternoon with the lieutenant governor, and they were taking call-in questions. So there was a woman from Maui that called, and she said yesterday they only had 200 test kits, and they didn't get more. That's not enough test kits. The problem is that there's a shortage nationwide, and although all of these private companies are trying to pump out these tests, there's a lot of places that's in need. But he said not only is there a shortage of the test kits, there's also a shortage of the reagents that they use. So, I think as time goes on, more test kits will be available. But right now, there's a shortage. There's a shortage. What about people returning back to work after being off island? That, again, we talked about that a little bit earlier. It's unfortunate. I think if you're a business owner, you have employees, and one of your it's essential, and your employees come back from New York, especially, you send them home. Do the right thing, not just for your business, not for your employees, and for the public. So anyway, back to the testing. So there's number one, there's a shortage of testing, and then we got the whole issue of the credibility now, as far as I'm concerned, with the testing. We all saw the fiasco yesterday about the guy that died. Initially, his test was inconclusive, and then his test became positive, and then his test became negative, and they say it was an error in the reading of the test, and the state director of health, Bruce Anderson, comes up and says, I apologize, it's all my fault. Listen, this is not a minor thing. This is the credibility, the integrity of this state's emergency response. And I am completely frustrated and disappointed that even happened. What happened? Okay, it was a private lab. Did we check all the other tests? I mean, the inconclusives that eventually became positive and then eventually became negative? Do we have people out there that thinks that they're positive but they're negative? Or worse yet, people that are out there that think that they're negative and they're positive? The whole integrity of this testing procedure is in question now, and it's so. I watch these press conferences. I watch them all, and it's like, for them, it's no big deal. Yeah, we kind of misread the test, and I apologize. It's my bad. Well, that's not enough. No explanation as to how that happened, other than, it was, we misread the test. No explanation about, are they going to review all the other tests? Is our number even accurate? Is our number 5 on Kauai or 68 on Oahu? Is that even accurate? I didn't get any assurances that they were going to revisit all the tests. Today, hotels and motels were closed down, pools, exercise center, jacuzzis, applies to condos. All, again, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, the essential versus non-essential. But, it's somewhat broad, but if you provide housing, then you're essential. If you have it's your prerogative if you want to shut down. We know hotels are shutting down. Timbers just called me today. They're shutting down. Everybody got their furlough notices today, and many others are shutting down as well. So that's a decision the hotel has to make. If you're providing housing, obviously you would be allowed to continue, but that's your choice. If I understand this is the whole money thing. I understand the revenue, and but at some point, condos and all pools are shut down. All recreational facilities, gyms, all that's shut down. Whether you're a condo or hotel, That's all done. You provide the room and you can provide the restaurant, but that's it. Pools are done, gyms are done, spas are done, saunas are done. But that's your individual prerogative. If you have uh, a condo or you manage a condo, it's the owners have the final say. And I would hope that most owners would shut it down as soon as they can. Don't take any more tourists coming in. Close your reservations off. Sorry, we are not taking reservations during COVID-19. That's what needs to happen. Same with the airplanes and the rental cars. Everybody has to do their part. But, sometimes the people that make the decisions are more focused on the revenue. This virus isn't racist. Absolutely. It'll kill you regardless of who you are. I asked State DOH if they are tracking cases of viral pneumonia. They responded that they're not. Yeah, I wouldn't think that they were. They're focused on the COVID-19. But again, I mean, how valid are these testings? And I can only hope that they are revisiting and validating the test that they're telling us, the numbers and the results, that we should be getting good information. That is good to shut down. Some condos are trying to keep common areas open. I think that if you know of a condo that has their common areas open, that you need to let me know. And you don't do it here publicly. You just shoot me a message, and I will take care of that. I will take care of that. They are not allowed to open the pools. Common areas shut down. For real, our own officials playing off is like a joke. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. I don't know if they really think it's a joke, but they definitely are minimizing this thing. I mean, I think their priorities is where the problem lies. I think we saw that last week with the governor. Obviously, his loyalty to the visitor industry was, in my opinion, was of a higher priority than his loyalty to the safety and security of the people. But that I'm not going to beat a dead horse. That happened last week. Life is more than just money. Hotels need to protect the people. Close down. Absolutely. I was very happy when Timbers called me today that when they spoke to the owners gave them the go ahead to shut it down. So they have a couple of couples in there that's checking out. They're leaving and it's done. They're not even going to clean the rooms until this thing has passed. So I think that's responsible. And again, if you know of anyone that's trying to either try to do a loophole, if they're doing something that is going to create a hazard for the rest of us, yeah, please let me know. I would like to know. And I don't want to hear rumors. I don't want rumors. I don't want to hear, oh, I heard. No, I really need just to know the cases that is happening. No offense, but I get text messages and messages all day long, and I appreciate that. That's why I'm here. But please, the third party stuff and the fourth party stuff and the rumors, I mean, it just sends me down on a trail that takes just a lot of time. So if you know specifically, please let me know. I know at least 7 people on court that had flu pneumonia-like symptoms. There's quite a bit. There's quite a bit. Many are attempting to get tested. Again, if you don't have the fever, chances are you're not going to get tested. But again, if you have any kind of symptom, let your doctor know. Let your doctor know and practice, the 5. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. 6 feet rule. All of that stuff. Stay away from the public. Our rally needs a 24/7 lockdown. I think this stay-at-home rule is gonna help as long as we abide by it. As long as we take it seriously. At this point, the framework has been laid out by the government. There's really no enforcement arm. So it's up to us. It's up to us. My friend is a doctor in New York City, and the panic in her voice as she is begging for donations of PPE is so chilling. It is. It's scary, and it's all over, and it's sad. But again, if you think about it, if we all practice our own safety measures, we're going to protect the people we love. You will not get this virus if you practice the safety measures, regardless. You could have 100 people on this island with that's tested positive. But if you don't get 6 feet within them, if you don't touch something that they've touched, you're gonna be okay. But it's an individual responsibility. I think I posted that thing a long time ago. And that's what we gotta do. I live on Color Road in Lawai, and today had more traffic than the past few days combined. Come on, Kawhi, we're better than that. Absolutely. Again, you can pass the rules, but you really gotta we as individuals gotta follow them. It's up to us. Let's do it. I love that. Mel, you're doing a great job. I love that too. One guy, they lost his first test results. Took 7 days to get answer. He won't let me go public with it. Well, I had a call from a friend in Oahu. He tested positive, presumptive, because, and I think I may have talked about this on my Facebook Live. So he got the presumptive positive. He went home in isolation. Never heard back. His niece and nephew got tested positive as well, a year and a half and 8 years old. Never got called back. Called the Department of Health. They followed up. They lost his test. His test never made it to CDC. And what's worse, because the symptoms had subsided, they were not going to give him a test. So that's the kinds of things that's going on in our state. And that's why I really, really question the numbers. I question the validity, the integrity. That is why I am so hard and loud on this protect ourselves. Don't rely on the government. Focus on taking care of yourself and your family and practice. Sorry for sounding like a what do you call those guys? Like a broken record. But that is the key. That is the key. Our mainland nonstop flights to Kauai for American Airlines suspended. Stay safe. Thanks, George. I just had a question. I know we had United had cut their flights, Alaska, Hawaiian, American. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. They cannot afford to fly with 6 people on the plane. And nobody wants to come to a place if you're going to get quarantined for 14 days. That's why it was so vital to do this 2 weeks ago or longer, even earlier. But this governor wanted to accommodate the tourists, and he did. So we have up until tonight, midnight, anybody that comes into our state will not be required to go to quarantine. Tomorrow they will. Kind of don't make sense. No ban on non-essential travel. No ban on non-essential travel. We are stuck with the quarantine, but the effect of the quarantine, we will see the drop in tourists. The tourists will drop. So, let's celebrate the small victories and focus on taking care of ourselves. Quarantine starts tonight, as you know. All the incoming passengers, inter-island or from the mainland, will be forced to go into quarantine. Now, it's different from stay at home. See, the stay at home, you're still allowed to go to the grocery store. You're still allowed to go do your essential things. On the quarantine, no, you in your room. Your food is delivered to you. You do not leave the room for 14 days. And that is why we got to make sure that if it's a hotel, that they got to keep track. They got to keep track of these people, and they do not come in the lobby. They're in the room 14 days. You're not a broken record. You're keeping everyone educated and informed. Some people are still not taking it seriously. Yeah, I kind of sound like a broken record, but I don't know how else to get people to understand. You see, the solution is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Right? Just the 5 things you got to remember. And if everybody does that, we will get past this virus in a couple of weeks. We'll pass this in a couple of weeks. Our occupancy dropped from 100% to 0 for our properties, and we stopped them from coming. Thank you, Cindy. You see, that's responsible. That's responsible. Because see, that cuts that vein off. That's one less property we got to worry about. People, we cannot change what happened already. All we can do is enforce what is now. That's my point. Let's not fight the last war. That war is done. Let's move on. Let's take it from today, and let's focus on ourselves. What's going to stop them from leaving the room? They get arrested. They get arrested. On the mandatory quarantine, it's a misdemeanor, $5,000 fine, a year in prison. but we gotta enforce. I wish people would take it seriously. Absolutely, Iggy. I hope he can sleep well. He can. I'm sure he can sleep well because he thinks he's doing the right thing. You gotta understand, his belief system is messed up. His whole priority system is messed up. But that's what he believes is the right thing to do. He believes he believed that making sure that our tourists were accommodated and weren't disrupted, that it was the best for the state. Okay, that's his call. I totally disagree with it, but this call, so he can sleep at night because he honestly believes that he did the right thing for the state. I disagree. I can imagine what Auntie Patsy go through before bedtime. Me and that's my time off loading to Omi. Why did they wait? Poor Omi. My daughter was sent by her primary physician to get tested 2 days ago. She works as a self-employed cleaner for one of the South Shore hotels. Hearing you talk about these test results not being conclusive scares me to death. She has 4 children. Um, yeah, I haven't heard any horror stories on Kauai. What I'm talking to you about, the guy that died and my friend in Honolulu, all Oahu, on in private labs. We have Wilcox Hospital does our lab testing. I'm just saying, whether you're positive or negative, whether you're young or old, we all gotta practice the safety measures. That's it. What about the workers at Costco that came back? We talked about that a little earlier. I got the call. I got that first thing in the morning. I got probably 6 or 7 people contacted me about that. I notified the mayor's office first thing in the morning. I spoke to the chief of staff, Sarah Blaine. I told her what was floating around, what the information I had received, and the information I got was from an employee of Costco that was afraid to go to work because she didn't want to come in contact with this person who was a baker. So I'm not sure what the outcome was. I hope Costco had sent that person home, but I don't know. I don't know. Getting rid of okay, that's sorry. Restaurants, bakeries are still letting people inside. When does that change? I thought that was to take that. I thought it was takeout, no entry. Is this correct? That is correct. It's very clear. Mayor's rule number 5 is very clear. It says you are not to allow entry into your restaurant. There's only takeouts or curbside pickup. That's how I read the rule. Like I say, it's pretty clear. The rule is very clear. It takes it a step further than the state law or the state rule. So again, if you guys know of violations, just contact the emergency management center up at the county building, and they will handle it. They will handle it. I had a call today. Contractor was working on a house and somebody rolled up. I don't know who it was. It was somebody representing the county, went over there and shut them down. No new construction on new homes or new commercial buildings. So so I know that they have people going out and enforcing this. Now, I don't think you'll go get arrested or get a ticket first. I think you'll get a warning. But if there's a restaurant that allows that, make sure you let the Emergency Management Center know, EOC, and they will take care of it. If you want to shoot me a message, you can. I'll simply forward it as well. They should have lockouts that work like lockouts from the outside. They have no damn reason to leave except to go home when it's time. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you could do that, I'm sure the fire department would have a problem with that. But I understand what you're saying, Sarah. I share your frustration because, again, I was talking to a hotel person yesterday, and I said, does your hotel allow smoking in the room? No. Do your guests smoke in a room? Yeah, sometimes. That's right. Even if you threaten them with a $500 room cleaning fee, they still smoke in a room because that's what they do. So you telling them that they got to stay in their room, they cannot leave, chances are some of them will. And you don't know if they're infected or not. That's why I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Kauai has the lowest spread. Thank Kauai for practicing safe measures. Well, I think, while, yes, we have some strict rules, but also not getting tested as much as the rest of the island. So, I'm afraid that this this low numbers give everyone a false sense of security, that people look at our numbers and say, man, we don't need to worry. We get 75,000 people on the island, only five. You got to understand, it's all relative. It's relative to the amount of tests that are being done. You cannot base the community spread of this disease by a number of, because our number is low. You go to the doctor, you're not getting a test unless you show symptoms. So it's while I think Kauai is probably in a better shape, in a better position than the rest of the counties, I still believe that we are and Lieutenant Josh Green agrees that there is community spread happening on all islands. Life before luxury, because life is a luxury. Absolutely, Laura, nice, well said. How and who will be enforcing the non-resident beach charges? That would be the county. The park rangers will be the one enforcing that. Hope all is well back home. Been in Vegas for 2 years. Been crappy here. Everyone lose their jobs and has been in staying home now for, yeah. I mean, I saw it in the news, and I just hard to believe that some place like Las Vegas would completely shut down. But that decision makers took it serious, and that's the track that we need to be on. Let's see. Hold on here. Are you still seeing lots of tourists? I mean, just look at the. There's not many cars on the road. Not many. I mean, from what I'm hearing, we don't go out, but from what I'm hearing, is very little tourists on the island. Why is the courtyards at Waipole under full construction? It should not be. There should be no construction going on. And if it is, let me know. I'm assuming that it's going on with this post. But I thought they were done with their construction. But if you know that they're still constructing at the courtyards, send me a message and I'll make sure I'll let the mayor's office know tomorrow. Remodels, new construction, it doesn't matter. The only thing that's being allowed right now is maintenance, repair and maintenance, not remodeling and new construction. Okay, I'm trying to get through all these comments because I got a few more things I wanted to talk about. I want to get out of here by 7 so we can all listen to acoustic mana. Okay, hang on here. The council haven't done anything until Mel started. They don't want to step out of their comfort zones and do what needs to be done. I asked the council to do a resolution, what I was informed was that they were individually sending letters or whatever. I'm not going to beat up on anybody. I just, my whole purpose here tonight is focusing on getting us to do the right thing, which is take care of ourselves. But has the president ever replied to your letter? Nope. Well, I got a reply saying that they got my letter, which I'm sure all of you that mailed out letters using that Capitol White House website got, but no, I have not heard a thing, not yet. What about people flying here from Oahu knowing that they have a lot of cases, so they get caught? Yes, everybody, starting tonight at midnight, everybody is quarantined. Anybody that arrives after midnight tonight, whether they're from Hawaii or from the mainland, will be quarantined for 14 days. I have only been doing emergency electrical repairs, emergency plumbing. All of that is totally legitimate and essential. So, okay, let's see. Our stay-at-home order, I know there's a lot of concern about. Thank you, Kaylin. Praying for our troops returning home from deployment in the next few weeks. We'll even be able to get home with flights. My husband and mom, he will be quarantined once he reaches. Yes, he will be. He will be quarantined, but he will be home. He will be home, and that's a good thing. A lot of questions about what's essential, what's not. Again, essential. We just talked about the construction. If it's repair, maintenance, of course, medical visits, restaurants, any place that serves food, you cannot go in the restaurant. You cannot eat on the premises. You cannot enter the restaurant. That's rule number 13. Top rule. You can go there to pick up. They can come out to the curbside and give you your food, but you cannot go in. And thanks, James. Just got to be smart about this, just got to be smart. What would you recommend for a high school education person with a lot of work knowledge, interested in politics back home? Send me a message. We can talk about that later. Common sense is what you need for politics. Common sense. I see a lot of people with PhDs and doctors and all of this stuff in politics and 4 year degrees, and it all comes down to common sense. It all comes down to really, as an elected official, you're a representative of the people that elected you. And you got to remember that. Unfortunately, a lot of times people get elected because of the help from the industry, and so the direction or your priorities switch, right? Because it's no longer the people that elected you; it's the people that got you elected with the money and the connections, and that is where I think sometimes the priorities change. So really, it's representing the people that that you represent, that your constituency, and that's key. And it's common sense. It's really, really just common sense. We're missing some of that common sense now. Yes, we are. Yes, we are, big time. So again, stay at home. Don't use the loopholes. Take this seriously. Again, I said it earlier. We must. Yes, Mona, there is a website. It's kauai.gov/COVID-19. Um, I said this earlier, we got to treat this like everybody has the virus. Like everybody has the virus. If you're willing to be an apple in a basket full of oranges, then you should get into politics. Yeah, I love that, Ms. Debs. I love that. Kainoa, it is my opinion this mandatory self-quarantine does not work. Major General Howard said there is no way for them to enforce. I know someone who flew to Kauai for a million and was told to self-quarantine, but then went out shopping. Again, Kainoa, you're right. It does work if everybody does it. It's like any other law. If everybody didn't steal, then the shoplifting law would work, or the theft law would work. But not everybody follows the law. Not everybody follows the rules. That is the problem. That's why I'm here yelling and screaming. Josh Green's doing the same thing. We all got to play our part. So that one person goes to the store to go groceries, not supposed to, he's on quarantine or she's on quarantine. You're not going to the store and get within 6 feet of them. You're not going to touch anything without sanitizing what you're touching. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. But if you go out and you be irresponsible, and you go out and you get in contact with these people that may be positive, and then you come home and share it in your house, then you're going to infect your house. You got a little cluster in your house. And if your house isn't following the rules, and they go out and infect, and see, that's where we get problems. That's where we get problems. So, we take care of ourselves. We take care of ourselves, and we try to get it done. Listen, this is why it's important. In Hawaii, we have a little over 3,000 hospital beds. Right now, we got people in, some of them, not because of COVID, but I think we got a couple in COVID patients in there. But majority of our patients are just regular people that are sick or recovering from surgeries or whatever. So we got about 1,500 available beds, 328 intensive care unit beds, and 561 ventilators. Now, these resources are not enough, and they're not only for COVID patients. People have surgeries, emergency surgeries, emergency illnesses, or whatever the case may be. Those beds aren't only for COVID-19. Now, this is the deal. If we do not get a handle on this, and these numbers come straight from Lieutenant Governor Josh Green, if we don't get a handle on this, by the end of April, we should see the peak, the upside of this curve. And it would based on the trends that are happening in other places, we should be at about 35,000 cases in Hawaii. 35,000 cases. We got 95. But the way this thing multiplies, if we don't practice the safety precautions, if we get up to that peak, what the trend is, about half of that would need ventilators. That's kind of what the trend is. 35,000 of the ones that test positive. We don't have that. We have 561 ventilators. We cannot let that number get to 35,000. We cannot let that number get to 20,000. We as the individuals in this state gotta do our thing. If we don't, if we get to that 35,000 number, we're going to lose a lot of people. That's the reality of it. That's just what's going to happen. And with that number of people, a lot of us are gonna. It's gonna become personal for a lot of us. A lot of us. So let's focus on that and let's share that and let's tell everyone we know that we must be serious about this because we can. If we clip this, if we confine it, we will be able to get past this in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But it's not going to happen if we don't protect ourselves and our family. Which leads me to hoarding. I talked about this. Charlie Iona and I did a little Zoom. We tested a Zoom thing today, and we had some fun. But we got people hoarding. You cannot find toilet paper, cannot find wipes, cannot find sanitizers, cannot find a lot of stuff. Now, baby wipes. Yeah, there's no shortage of diapers. I don't know if you noticed that. There's no shortage of diapers, but there are no baby wipes in the stores. We know we never have one flooding of babies being born. This is all hoarders. Now most of the stores have limits on what you can buy, so that helps. But you know that there are people out there. There's moms. There's a lot of moms that are they've lost their jobs, and they're at home now waiting for unemployment or waiting for whatever help they can get, and they cannot even find baby wipes for the baby. Cannot find toilet paper for their homes. There's kupuna out there that not as mobile and cannot get to the store as often as many of us. And when they go there and there's no supplies for them, that's all part of us doing our part. That's all part of us doing our part. Taking care. Patsy called a couple of her older aunties today just to make sure they were okay and if they needed anything. Short phone call, very meaningful to them. And but that's what we got to do. We got to take care of our own, especially our kupuna. Especially those families that have children that are suffering from medical conditions that they become vulnerable for this virus. You got to remember, we are all in this together. Every single one of us. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. See, COVID don't care. COVID don't care if you're white, black, green, yellow, whatever. COVID don't care. They don't care if you're an independent, a libertarian, a Democrat, a Republican. They don't care if you like Trump or hate Trump. They don't care if you hate Ige or like Ige. They don't care. COVID does not care. COVID doesn't give a damn. It has no aloha spirit, but we do. We do. So we can stop this thing. But we're not going to stop this thing if we don't come together, band together, and start helping each other. If we're not out there leaving that extra pack of toilet paper for someone else, or baby wipes, whatever it may be, so someone that needs it can get it, there's no need for that. If we can make sure we remind people that whenever you see them, hey, did you wash your hands? You go get your mail. You cannot get the virus if it's on your hand, only until you touch your face. So you touch your mail, you open up your mail, do whatever. I mean, one recommendation is let your mail sit for a day before you go pick it up. But if you go pick it up, you open up your mail, then you wash your hands. And you do what you got to do. You pay your bill, mail it out, you wash your hands. And don't touch your face. Stay away from people. And you remind everybody about this. Remind everybody. Let them tell you, nah, I know already. I know. Well, no. Everybody needs to be reminded. See, I'm taking this thing serious. I am taking this thing super serious because when all is said and done and we get to the other side, I'll know that I tried my best to get the word out. And you all got to do the same. And for those of you that are, hey, thank you. Thank you, because we can beat this thing. We really can. Charlie Ona, we're getting the message out because of our compassion. I say you saying you, but it's not you. It's not me. It's we, all of us. We got to do this again and again and again and again. A lot of you guys have children. You got to make sure that they're not immune. way the media puts it out, oh yeah, kids can get by, they make it sound like the kid can get the virus and not even get any symptoms and survive, and that's true, but they still can carry. They still can carry. Don't listen to Dr. Anderson, or not even Director Anderson, telling you that you cannot pass this virus unless you have the symptom. That's not true. You can. So you make sure your kids or your grandkids are well aware of what they need to do. Make sure that they understand that they have to wash their hands. And they cannot go down, hang out with their buddies. See, because any one of them could be a carrier. That's why, as I said in the beginning of this broadcast, we need to treat this as if everybody is infected. If everybody is infected. And we need to do that. And stop being rude. That's not being rude. This is the only time in Hawaii's time that you can be rude and not go hug auntie and kiss auntie. That's what we do. That's how we were raised. So it's hard not to do it, but we have to for the next 2 to 3 weeks or a month, whatever it takes to catch this thing. We can beat this, and we will beat this. And we'll beat it by helping each other, reminding each other, and taking care of ourselves and our families. I'm going to end it here because at 7 o'clock, Acoustic Mana is going to do a free concert for us. And listen, we all go through stressful times. A lot of us on this calls, on this show, lost their jobs, not sure what's going to happen tomorrow, not sure how long this is going to last, waiting for unemployment to kick in. And it's stressful. So, like I said earlier, a lot of these guys are coming out doing free concerts. Let's just relax tonight. And I'll share it. I'll do it as a watch party on my page, so you don't have to go look for them. It'll be right after this. I'm going to hook up, and we're going to have the concert. Plug in your speakers, and just relax. Get a nice cup of your favorite beverage, and enjoy some local tunes. This Shiloh Pa, Fingers Rapozo. He's one of the talented, Rapozo's actually a very talented family. Not this one, but all the rest, man, they're all musicians except me. Big Ryan McCaig, and brother Jonah Cummings. And they're going to Kanikapila live for all of us tonight. So just hang tight. Go get freshen up, whatever you got to do. As soon as I close up, I'm going to share it on this page so you don't have to worry about finding them. And let's enjoy the rest of the night. We'll be here next week. I think Charlie, Iona, and myself will do another Zoom thing in between just to break up the monotony and the stress. But other than that, people, just remember, we can't beat this thing. But we're not going to beat this thing if we kick back and be complacent. Let's go out, be warriors. Let everybody know. Tell everybody what we got to do. And let's go get it done. All right? Aloha, you guys. Love all of you. Next week. Aloha.